Okay, here we go, everybody. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Monday, February 10th, 2025. All good. You guys can hear me and see me okay. I hope so. I was in computer hell earlier today. Thanks, Shannon. I count on you. I really appreciate that. All right, guys and girls, listen, we got a lot to talk about this post market wrap up. Things are changing really fast. I think they're changing too fast. People cannot focus. They're being hit with a flurry of, let's just say, executive orders and a whole bunch of other stuff that's happening here without being given any time to sit back, evaluate what's happening, and to weigh out the pros and cons. There's always pros for change and cons for change. We got to weigh this out, no doubt about it. But we're not even being given that opportunity. And that should tell you something. Focus here, look here, don't look over there. It's always the same. That will never change. The public, since the beginning of time, has been manipulated via this kind of a mechanism. And it just looks like it's not going to stop here. There are, again, some people that can't think, they don't want to think. And if you challenge them, if you present a question, just even a question about something, they go berserk because they probably can't find a way to answer it. They feel threatened because, again, people have been so dumbed down, uh, desensitized, oversensitized in some ways too. They get triggered like that. You can't challenge their paradigms, their normal, what they perceive as a normal thought process in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, they go way off the deep end here. And these kind of people, they are the zombie apocalypse, the part of the zombie farm that is being created that I've outlined for all of you recently as well. It's not going to stop. In fact, I would be willing to bet there's going to be more of these people who are going to surrender their liberties and freedoms. Again, you got to fight for this stuff. You know how many people have given their lives to make sure we have a free society for all of us, but people are just willing to give it up. Believe what this person is saying because it's gospel truth. Let's not challenge it. Let's not question it. That's the way it is because it's coming from the almighty savior, whatever it might be, demigods, man gods, whatever it might be. It's an incredible thing to witness here in the United States, especially in this environment. There are some people that have really lost it. They've lost their connection, which I've been screaming from rooftops about. We all need to establish a connection with the Almighty. They've lost it. So they find another thing to latch on, another person, another whatever it is. They don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to question anything. They don't want you to question anything. Just go with it because it's the right thing to do. That's all. Listen to what's being put out through the propaganda ministry, the mainstream media. That's the truth now. It's become the gospel. This has become a religion here. Very frightening. But unfortunately, that's exactly what's happening. Now, let us talk about, let me just get my head on straight here. This is the market here today. Okay, we've gone nowhere. We're going to talk more about this in a second. For over 2 months, the S&P 500 has gone absolutely nowhere. You and I, if you were with me, got out literally at the top. I mean, bang. Imagine our shock. Gold and silver. Look at these numbers here, people. Look at gold, 29.34. Oh, I didn't get silver. I got oil. Silver did really good today too, but crude oil catching the bid. Of course, the lovely crypto space seems to be doing pretty good. They've gone nowhere either in a while. We're kind of stuck a little bit in like a weird kind of spot. Now, with regard to gold here, this is no secret. This has been going on for quite a while, but I just want to bring this to your attention again. This is Bloomberg. China's central bank continues to buy gold as prices hit a record. Collectively, central banks today are the number one buyer of gold. Number one, bar none. Not only that, I want you to think about a concept that I have spoken with you about many, many times. So central banks are betting against their own product. They issue debt to the world in the form of currency. They're buying it back. Central banks, as you all know, none more so than the Federal Reserve, the number one issuer and buyer of debt. Period. They run it all. They're running the debt market. Everything else is nothing but a derivative. You understand that. We've covered it a gazillion freaking times. So that should tell you something as well. As a matter of fact, let's move on. I got this for you. You know, I don't like these things, but I'm just going to bring this to your attention. So gold ETF, exchange traded fund, rising sharply after its longest winning streak since 2020. Let me read this to you. The Spider Gold shares GLD, which is an exchange traded fund that they say buys physical gold. Show it to me, okay? Was rallying sharply today. The gain comes after this exchange traded fund has risen for 6 consecutive weeks, longest winning streak since 2020. Look, man, you guys and girls, you're on board with me. At least I hope you are. We've been, I started coming out here well over a decade ago saying, bet against the debt, become your own central bank. This is what we need to do as the system is being systematically evaporated. People are being inflated to death. Now, before we talk more about that, I want to touch on something else. So earlier, and I've been touching on this a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here over the last, well, since this market has gone nowhere. Now, I want to bring this to your attention again, and I want you to think about what I'm saying. Okay, if you're new here, welcome to the Pride. We want more lions here. So I sent this out to all of you earlier today with regard to what's going on here with the stock market. The markets have a gargantuan problem. Now, let me read this. Lions, the market, S&P 500, the broader market, is still going nowhere since the December high, December 5, 6088. We are now at 666, 6066. Imagine our shock of that one there. So I wrote, this is my opinion, but this is also not an opinion. This is a fact, what I'm about to say. So I wrote, the amount of effort it will take to push more cash into equities, stock market via debt market manipulation, artificially suppressed rates, obviously currency purchasing power destruction, is going to need to be gargantuan. Why? It comes down to what we've been talking about as of late. The law of diminishing returns applies. So just think about what's happening. A market that's gone nowhere. To push or force the doorway to open yet again for cash to make its way into the stock market is going to take a Herculean task. A Herculean task by central banks. They have to lift up the entire weight of the entire world debt market. Put it that way. This is a really good analogy. In order to keep rates suppressed, artificially suppressed, what has to happen here? Central banks have to get into the market. They got to create cash out of nothing, add it to digital screen. They got to get into the market and buy the debt. We all know central banks are not only the number one buyer of gold on the planet, they're the number one buyer of debt and issuer of debt. Now, again, think about the entire situation here that we have for this, again, law of diminishing returns. The weight, the pressure of this global debt problem is causing inflation around the world on a scale that we've never seen. We're well on our way to a hyperinflationary environment. It's not going to stop. For central banks to continue to foster the wealth transfer that's been in effect for quite a long time, that is funneling cash right up to the 1% and 2%, they have to suck it from somewhere. It's being sucked out of you via artificially suppressed rates, currency devaluation. Sounds right to you? We've only been talking about this to the point of like you can't even freaking believe. Now, again, if in fact central banks, they have unlimited firepower. We know that. They can add as many digits to a screen as they want to. Just poof, magic. This is obviously, again, currency purchasing power negative. Are we on the same page? I would believe we are. But again, think about what I'm saying. To lift the weight of the debt market, to force more cash into the stock market would require literally astronomical amounts of cash to be pumped into the debt market. This is the gargantuan issue that the market's facing. Is the market real? No. Is there a single asset today that has a real price discovery mechanism behind it? No. It's floating. The stock markets of the world and everything else connected to it. What is it doing? What have I been telling you repeatedly? Is floating on a universe of debt. I just don't know another way to put it. The stock market is a derivative. It's become nothing but a derivative of the debt market. Valuations, forward guidance, or none of this matters anymore. It's all about the debt market. You all know that. I've been over this to the point of freaking nauseum. Sound about right? Okay. But to keep the game going, they have to create a lot more debt. That's why we're seeing what we're seeing now, a global economy contracting at its fastest pace on record. Global debt surging at its fastest pace on record. And why is that happening? It's a vicious cycle. I want you to think about what I'm saying. As the currency is devalued, okay, now it takes more devalued currency to buy anything, even to create a penny or even a nickel. Okay, we'll talk more about that in a second. So, or buy a goods or a services, no matter what it is, the more the debt is expanded upon, the worse the losses, or the greater the losses in currency purchasing power is going to be. Henceforth, why now it takes about 3 cents to make a penny. It takes almost 14 cents to make a nickel. Did you know that? You know that the penny is being erased right now, right? Trump, by executive decree, the penny's gone. Okay, no more penny. And he's saying this is to cut waste. Maybe the penny is a barbaric relic. Maybe it's a useless thing. I know we're all going to a cashless society. Pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, 50-cent pieces, dollar pieces, dollars themselves, $20 bills, $100 bills, whatever it might be. It's all going away. Let's start with the penny. But how this is being sold to you is a con job. A con job, okay? We got to get rid of this penny because it's a waste, because now it costs 3 cents to make a penny. Okay, how is that? Because the currency is losing purchasing power. In the grander scheme, look, you guys think that whatever Trump says is gospel truth. I get that there is that group of you out here. Yeah, he's right. We got to cut waste. There's no doubt about it. But it's a shell game. You already know we're going to see vast expanses of purchases of defense here. We're going to go from 3.4% of GDP to 6%. This is what's being floated out here, and that's astronomical amounts of cash. Okay, so cut from here. Okay, whatever. We got rid of that. GDP. Trump is not going to let GDP fall. GDP is a major. Government spending is a major component of gross domestic product. Trump's not going to let that fall. So shell game. Let's pull it from here. Let's get rid of the penny, because it's a waste. It's a waste because we are so bad. The economy here in the United States and around the world is so bad. We can't even afford to make a penny. Not that they may be useless, barbarous relics, like I said, absolutely. 100%. So is a nickel, for that matter, because a nickel, it costs almost 14 cents to make a nickel. Did Trump tell you that? No, he didn't tell you that. Can't tell you that. Again, you got to focus on that penny, because it's a barbaric relic, and we're going to get rid of it. The nickel's coming next, and everything else. We are being bridged very rapidly into a crypto system, which is eventually going to lead to full tokenization. And what drives me crazy, you all know it's true. Ask Lava. Lava's here. You don't believe Greg Mannarino? Ask Lava. She's lovely. She would never lie to you. Okay? Everybody knows it's coming. But let's focus on the barbaric relic, because we don't need it. But the fact of the matter is, look, the big picture is inflation is even hitting our ability to mint a penny or buy any goods and services. You understand? But you can't be told that. You have to be told this is how we're cutting waste. How about this, President Trump? Got your back, buddy. No doubt about it. All right? Now, how about returning some purchasing power to the currency? How about returning us to a sound money system, which we're guaranteed in the Constitution? That's not happening. Okay, I think we know that. But we could return purchasing power to the currency by, again, do you hear? Just listen for a second. Just don't say a word. Let's all say, I want you to listen very, very carefully to something. Are you ready? Just see if you hear anything. Are you ready? The silence is deafening. There is not a single world leader today saying that central banks need to raise rates. Not one. They're saying, let's lower rates, which is exactly what central banks are doing and exactly what central banks want to do. It allows them to inflate. It allows them to devalue the currency even further. Instead of costing 3 cents to make a penny, it'll cost 4. Instead of costing 14 cents to make a nickel, it's going to cost 15 or 16 or whatever it might be. You understand? But you can't be told that. Politicians can never tell you the truth. Never. Anyway, I sent this out to you earlier. Bye-bye penny. Trump orders stop to penny production. Trump takes aim at wasteful government spending by ordering the end to the penny. Now, your pennies will be collector's items. It doesn't mean more valuable. See what I wrote here? Just more collectible. Now, bye-bye penny. Inflation has gotten so bad, we cannot afford to even mint pennies anymore. And again, oh, Greg, it's a barbarous relic. Trump did the right thing. Yeah, maybe he did the right thing, but why is it a barbarous relic? Because it costs us more devalued currency? Like, you guys really see what's going on? Are you really still that blind to it? Yeah, really? I hope not. I really, really sincerely hope not. And look, man, this is why we're seeing what we're seeing here with the movement of the price action of gold. And so, look, we understand. At least I hope so. There's no price discovery here. It's an amazing situation with regard to gold and silver and even commodities across the board. The fact is, again, what does cash do? What does cash do always without exception? Okay, there's in finance and economics, there's a couple of rules. Here's another one. All right, you already know. I'm going to let me outline. There's really three rules. Okay, and only 3. For those of you that are in school, maybe you want to write this down, go to your high school or college professor, you're getting your doctorate, your economics and finance professor. If Greg Mannarino is telling you the truth, or is Greg just lying because that's what he likes to do? Number 1, to have a strong economy, you need a strong currency. Our currency is so weak that it costs 3 cents to make a penny. Our currency is so weak that it now takes almost 15 cents to make a nickel. Okay, that's government waste. But Trump can't tell you that. Can't. He wants you to look at the penny right now because he knows that the currency is being phased out because we're being inflated to death. Sound about right to you? I'm not calling Trump out. I'm just telling you the truth here. If this hits you the wrong way and is it triggering you, oh, then I don't know what to tell you, man. You're coming to the wrong place. Greg is going to tell you the truth straight out as hard as I possibly can. Hit you the wrong way, I know. But again, to have a strong economy, you need a strong currency, duh. To have a strong currency, you need a corresponding rate of interest high enough to support the purchasing power. So imagine for a second we had a real leader anywhere in the world that said, hey, you know what? We're sick and tired of central banks devaluing the currency here. We're sick and tired of them robbing people blind by stealing their purchasing power. How about we raise rates and introduce some purchasing power back to the currency so it wouldn't cost 3 cents to make a penny? You understand? Or is this the truth here still eluding you? You can't see it. It's too crazy in his head and it's not real. Guys and girls, come on, man. I think we could all thanks, Jane. It's too much, man. This stuff is too easy, is what I'm trying to say. And look, man, the reason why people are not told the truth by a single politician, by a central banker, a banker, or whatever it might be. But what does that do, man? We know what we're doing here. Okay, we've been doing the right thing since we started betting against the system, hoarding gold and silver here. Yes, indeed, taking advantage of the system, unfortunately, man. I don't want to play this game. Believe me, I don't want to play it anymore. I'm so sick of it, up to my eyeballs. I want to vomit, man. But with regard to cryptocurrency, cash seeks yield. There's number 3. To have a strong currency, to have a strong economy, you need strong currency. To have a strong currency, you need a corresponding rate of interest high enough to support the currency. Cash seeks yield. That's number 3. That's why you see in this move here with regard to cryptocurrencies. And we're being bridged into a new system. Cash is going away. The penny's gone. The nickel's a waste too. President Trump, why did you not get rid of the nickel, buddy? Why? Because it would be a little too much for people. Maybe they would say, hold on a minute. We're getting rid of the penny. We don't need it. It's a barbaric relic and, it costs us too much. But the nickel, we're in the same boat. Why not get rid of the nickel too? Because you can't. Because people start to say, wait a minute, why is the currency going away? Don't you understand? Nothing in politics happens by accident. When you're sold a headline like this here, take aim at wasteful government spending by ordering penny production stop here. Again, there's always something else going on behind it. You're not allowed to know the root cause of the problem, that is currency devaluation via the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates, people. This has become a curse. Again, where did all this start? Where did it all begin? If you remember in 08, what happened in 08? Market was cratering. The Dow went from 12,000, it was 12,000 to 6. Something had to be done. So they started pumping cash into the market. The credit markets were locking up. Bernanke, we got to do this. If we don't do it by Monday, we won't have an economy. It wasn't about the market. It was about the economy. He knew what he was talking about. Credit freeze, which we're going to get again. That's the crisis they're going to spring on you to say, hey, you know what? We have a new system. You remember that executive order, no central bank digital currency? Well, you know what? I have to erase that. Let me get rid of that because, this is how we're going to save the system. That's what you're going to be sold. You know it already. All of you know it. You know that's exactly what's going to happen. That was just, okay, let's float this executive order out. No central bank digital currency. Meanwhile, they've been preparing for this for decades. And we're being bridged into this tokenized system via the cryptocurrency capital of the world, not the constitutional money capital of the world. If we were going back to a constitutional money capital of the world, do you think the penny would be getting phased out? We would automatically get our purchasing power back. The Federal Reserve would they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. The creature things, monsters that exist in the hallways of the Federal Reserve, but we were being, we were being put back by executive order. Fiat currency is illegal. He just made an executive order to get rid of the penny. Okay? No more penny. Let's get rid of the Federal Reserve. No more fiat monetary system. Let's go back to a gold-backed system, a constitutional money system, which we are guaranteed. We are guaranteed. Okay, let's go back to that. Let's revalue gold. 50, 60, 70,000, because that's where it would have to be. Boom, gone, vanished goes the Federal Reserve. And then every single central bank around the world would topple. Whoever did that, if it were Trump who did that, I would fall in love. I would fall in love with the man. I would actually fall in love with the man. And I don't go that way. I'm not saying I would, this isn't going about the other way. I would just mean I would feel genuine love because the men would be for we the people. We the people cannot be free. We cannot be free, nor can we survive, really, and carry on around the world under the rulership of a central bank who is the enemy. No person on this planet hates central banking more than me. Last thing, and I really need help with this one. I know there's a grand plan behind this. This is what, those people that think Trump walks on water, maybe he does. I don't know. Convince me. But I needed help with this one. So, Trump set to pause enforcement of foreign bribery law. Trump set to pause enforcement of foreign bribery law. President Donald Trump is expected to direct the Justice Department to pause enforcing the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which prohibits U.S. corporations, from bribing officials of foreign governments. Pause this, now they can bribe. He is expected to sign an executive order outlining the change of pausing. The change is a pause. So corporations, super rich, I don't know, name one, can now bribe foreign governments. What am I missing here? This is a masterful plan, I'm sure, right? This is a masterful plan. It has to be, because there can't be anything else here. What's going on? You guys and girls want to tell me what's actually happening, because I really need a little help with this one. You stand behind this? This is what you want to see? Is this the move? The genius here is going to be exposed. There's something else. It's so great. The IQ must be in the tens of thousands why this is happening, to go on to something that's going to really have some teeth, right? That's what's happening here. Let Greg Mannarino know, because you see, I don't have an IQ of 10,000. I guess Trump does, and I'm missing something here. So what am I missing, guys? What am I missing, girls? Anybody? Going once, going twice? You know, it's a coping mechanism for Greg. All right, you all know that. Um. Anyway, look, we covered a lot of stuff here. I don't know what else to say with regard to the situation here. With regard to what's happening here with bank deregulation, it looks like some of you, I read through the comments, don't want the banks to be regulated at all. Okay, so for those of you that think that banks, here's another question. Okay, you got to let me know about that one. With regard to banks, I personally don't believe the banks have our best interest. I really believe that these are predatory institutions. What happened over the weekend with Elon Musk and Andreessen here, the tag team, getting rid of that institution for the most part. The banks are loving this. There's no doubt about it. Deregulation will allow them to do anything they want with your cash. I mean, for those of you who said Greg doesn't, believe me, I saw not thousands, hundreds of comments. Greg doesn't know what he's talking about. Banks need to be deregulated. Are these bankers? Who are you people that are telling me that? Because you think they have your best interest, they're on your side, they want to come after everything you have. You take out a loan on XYZ, you skip a couple of payments, they're just going to say, okay, don't worry about it. No, they're going to come and confiscate everything you have. They're not on your side here. And they're predatory. You don't read the fine print. No one does. And they know you don't. They take advantage of you. I don't think that it's in the people's best interest that these financial institutions, yes, from BlackRock on down, should be allowed to run amok with our cash. I don't think you should have any cash in these institutions. Only what you are forced to transact in, not pennies anymore, because it costs too much, because inflation, it's all about inflation, man. Trump can't tell you that. He won't tell you that. There's no way he can tell you that. Again, because he knows for a fact. Let me tell you something about President Trump, right? He's not stupid. I know a lot of you think he is. He's not. And he actually admitted that it wasn't Biden's fault through the whole campaign. Whose fault was it? Whose fault was inflation? It was Biden, right? It was Biden's policy, right? Then all of a sudden it wasn't. Now it's the Fed. But how do we fix that? By lowering rates, which he was demanding. Now they're all friendly now because, again, what happened? Waltard was floated out and said, don't worry, we're going to be cutting rates. And even if they don't cut rates, they're going to be buying more debt. You're going to see the 10-year yield. It's stabilizing right now. The market might get used to it there. I don't know. Anything to keep this doorway open for cash to make its way into the stock market. You know that. Anyway. Yeah, John, that's a good one too. I can't Waltard. That's a good one. I can't stand these things. They're not human. When they come out and they lie to you like that. I'm talking about, don't get triggered. I'm talking about Trump, because Trump always tells you the truth, although he can't tell you about the penny, right? Or the nickel. Nickel's going next, of course, because it costs almost 15 cents to make a freaking nickel. How does that work? So that's government waste too, right? How about we cut that? But we can't do it right now because, again, you might go, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? They can't have people think. You can't think. You have to understand, thinkers are a threat to these kinds of things. They're not human, none of them. They don't have your best interest in mind. I know how many of you think they do. They don't. They're working together here with the other super elite, the banks and everybody else, to suck it right out of you. And not only that, again, people, we're going to be facing a moment of, you don't even know, man. Again, an implosion of this debt market is going to happen. Not a time that we can know or our choosing. It's their choosing. And is the music about to stop? Is the music about to stop? If they don't get in here, if central banks don't get in here and start buying more debt, again, to lift the weight of all this debt that's pressuring all of us here, which would do what? Devalue the currency more, but allow cash to make its way into the stock market. We pay for that. You see what I'm talking about? You see how simple this is? Too easy. It's too easy. Yeah. Inflate or die. Absolutely. Henry, look at this. Henry Bowman. Hats off to you, sir, Henry. Yes, it's inflate or die. And they're not going to die. You're going to die. They don't care about you at all. The mechanism here is to foster the greatest wealth transfer that's ever been seen in the history of the world. And then some. How's it working out for you? Artificially suppressed rates since 2008 here. The last 3 presidents, now 4. Well, it'll be the same 3, right? Trump twice. This is Trump 2.0. Okay, lovely. Pulling more debt into the system than every single president before them combined, going back into George Washington. Oh, no, they don't have the ability to print cash. They do not. I agree with you. That's what you're going to say, right? But they can work with the central bank to allow them to inflate. Obama, Trump, and Biden have been the best friends to the Federal Reserve in the history of whatever we're in now, which is not the United States of America in any way, shape, or form. This mechanism is not going to stop. What you're seeing is a shell game. Follow the money. Follow the money. It's going to be taken from here. Let's cut the penny because it's cost too much to make it. Not the nickel for now. Let's move it over here. Let's move it over there. Let's put it over here because this is beneficial to you. This is going to help you, but this is no good. That's all we're seeing here. It's smoke and mirrors, people. It's smoke and mirrors. And you think I'm wrong? Stick around. Stick around. Greg has a few things to still teach you, believe it or not. He does. This guy loves you all. And I mean that. Anything you guys and girls want to talk about? Greg, the markets are rallying hard. Which market is rallying hard, man? Are you not paying attention? You mean the gold market? Yeah. Stock market ain't gone nowhere. We're flat. S&P 500 since December. So I don't know what you're looking at. Maybe you want to tell us, or maybe just goofing around. I don't know, man. Trump supports auditing the Fed. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if it happens. Let's see if we actually get, actually look this stuff up. How many of you actually know that the Fed does get audited? Dr. Rizwan, thank you. Teach us. You don't believe me? Look it up for yourself. Of course, this is done in a secret kind of a way. What happened to the disclosure about, those things that were flying all over the place? I saw a couple over here. Wasn't Trump supposed to tell us about that? Oh, yeah, he blamed it on Biden for not disclosing it. Trump did say, oh, these were nothing. Don't worry about it. Where's that disclosure? I mean, come on, man. You guys, get with the program. Yeah, you gotta forget about you want to audit the Fed? Congratulations to you. Great. Fed's already been audited multiple times. Oh, you don't believe me? Maybe you should look it up for yourself. Anyway, we got to get rid of this institution. Audit it for what? You think these numbers are going to be real? Honestly, let's say the illustrious Trump, let's all get on our hands and knees, okay? Let's audit the Fed. Okay, great. You think whatever they tell you you think you're going to be shown proof? Again, I want to see the proof here. I'm not saying that there is not corruption at the Treasury. I am not saying that there is not corruption at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau either. Yeah, we've heard a lot of talk about it. But as an American citizen, should we not be shown proof? Not only proof, I don't even care about that. Tell us who's responsible for the fraud, for the misallocation of funds. Tell us who's responsible, and then hold them to account. Then I will fall in love again with Trump. Until that time, you know what this is? It's dog shit. That's what it is, all of it. And you want to believe because this person they're just so exalted. I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray to them. Come on, man. Wake up. Start questioning everything. If you don't engage your brain and start questioning everything that you're told and sold, like why the penny is actually being just discontinued here, it's really because of inflation. Oh, it's a barbaric relic. So it's the nickel then, right? But he didn't tell you that either. You see how they lie by omission? They lie by omission all the time. They can coin money with that include Bitcoin, you know how Bitcoin works. I mean, look up how Bitcoin works, how it's mined, all this stuff like that. Anyway, guys and girls, we're kind of really out of time here. I really do kind of get going. I got maybe time for like one more. It's only been 20 days. Yes, Robert, it's only been 20 days. And what have you seen in 20 days? A flurry of things that were thrown at us because you can't even think about it. You can't even name, Robert, what's actually been done. There's no way you could. Too many executive orders. Why? You're not even given time to look at it. You're not even given time to look at it. You think there's something you see, you have to have someone to defend. It's only been 20 days, Greg. Let's see what Robert says in 3 months. 9 months. When still no high-level arrests. How many of you really believe there's going to be one high-level arrest? How about no? There isn't going to be any. And they're hoping you're going to forget about this stuff. You see how politics works? Let me explain this to you in case you don't know. Politics is a game where they get people focused on something and then something else. So they forget about this. Well, they do something else. People have a difficult time because their lives are very complicated to stay focused for long periods of time. Transfer my knowledge. Dude, I don't know anything, bro. I appreciate you being nice to me and stuff. I don't know nothing. I don't even claim it, all right? I just happen to know a little bit about how the system works because I've seen the other side of it. I've seen the other side of it, man. When you see the other side of this diabolic system, you can't unsee it. And everything just becomes so crystal clear. You understand why things are the way they are. Anyway, guys, yeah, linear divide and conquer. But again, look, they're going to keep you deceptive and distracted about something else. If any of you believe that we're actually going to see proof of corruption, wherever they're telling us it might be, show us what happened. Actually order a forensic audit of whatever company that they're telling us there's fraud and they just want to discontinue it. Again, no due process anymore. I'm going to tell you something, and you guys and girls should really listen to what I'm saying here, okay? You're going to see more and more of the Constitution be taken away. Poof, 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 and a whole new set of rules, a whole new dynamic in place. This is not a constitutional administration that we have here, and we're setting precedents across the board moving forward. So just, again, then no one's going to do it. Very few. I mean, not you guys and girls get it. Madison, thank you. I appreciate it. Why are you blocked? You're not blocked. People are going to willingly surrender their freedoms and liberties because they have their faith in the wrong place. They really feel that there are those that have their best interest in mind, not those of their own family or anyone else, not so they could carry on some kind of legacy or no self-aggrandizement or anything else. You understand? I think we're probably, yeah, exactly. Don't hold your breath, Robert. I agree. I like you, Robert. I really do. I don't believe we're going to get any kind of high-level arrests anywhere. We never do. Maybe some flunky down below, and they this is but this is the reason why billions of dollars were misallocated and hundreds of billions, according to Trump, we're going to find hundreds of billions, whatever it might be. But how about clawbacks? Let me ask you that too. That's a kind of an interesting concept someone brought up to me. Let's say this is why I want to see proof and I want to see where the money chain is. Okay. So we're being told by Elon Musk, of course, who's really seems to be running a lot of this, in fact, the entire show with regard to corruption. I guess he's the corruption crusader. Anyway, whatever he might be. We get shown proof. These are the people responsible. This is where the cash went. This is why I'm really interested in this. Okay. Can we claw that back? If in fact corruption and misallocation of funds has happened, according to Elon Musk, and he's reporting to Trump, and Trump says that's what it is. I guess Trump has been shown proof. We haven't. Okay. Are we able to claw that back? Wouldn't you want to know that? Don't you think what are we supposed to be told? Okay, this is corruption. This is the cash. It's gone now. They know where it went because there's always a money trail. Okay. Unless, of course, it was done some other way. But we can generally look, man, this forensic auditing, they can track anything at all. Literally, they watch everything. They can hear a snake fart from Saudi Arabia. This is where things are today. It's one world under surveillance. Everything is tracked. You know that. Anyway, look, guys, I want to know if we can get some of that cash back that was misappropriated, that there was fraud. Don't you? Don't you think we deserve that as we, the people? Oh, no. We don't even deserve that. What do we deserve? Nothing, just handouts, crumbs, because that's what we've been told we're going to be getting. Sound about right to you? Oh, guys, I love you so much. It's the truth. All right, I am going to get out of here. Snake Diet Lava. You're the best, man. I didn't mean to say F-A-R-T, but I just thought it was funny. They can hear a snake, F-A-R-T, from Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty true. Anyway, that's it, guys and girls. Listen to me. If I'm not thrilled about these thumbs up here, I'll be honest with you. I think I've earned maybe a little more than that. If you agree, please give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Let's get this stuff out there, people, man. The thumbs up are huge. The comments are huge. Get this stuff out there. Please share this stuff on your social networks. I would really appreciate that. Start a conversation. Let's stop with the hatred and, okay, but what about Kamala? And what about Biden? They're gone, man. They're all that. Let's focus on the here and now. We understand. What about all the corruption with them? Has any of them been held to account? Pig Losi and all those other freaking freaks? No. No. You think there's going to be any arrests over there? No, don't count on that either. Lock her up. That didn't happen either. Hillary Clinton should be in handcuffs. That didn't. Trump felt bad for her, right? I personally didn't feel bad for her. I think if corruption was and whatever else was going on, there's some pretty sick things going on there with the Clintons. I think we can all agree on that. Well, how come there's no arrests? Why were we the people promised that there would be, but we didn't get it? Because it's all the same. It's always the same story. When are you guys and girls going to start to get it? I know you do. I know all of you do. All right. You, me, and thank you. Look at those thumbs up. We just jumped up. I appreciate that. I'll see all you guys and girls in the morning. Go over the video again. We covered a lot here, honestly. And some of this stuff, you got to maybe think about a little bit to really get your head around it. And, well, that's all. All right. I will see all of you in the morning, people, until we meet again. What am I going to say? Please, people, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. That's all we got, man. Let's come together. Let's unify. All right. The system is destroying us all. Can we agree on that? The whole mind-twisting screw job that we've all gotten and will continue to get, it's not going to stop unless we do something about it ourselves. Does that sound right to you? Or it's just not right? I'll see you in the morning. That's all.